Broadcasting live, my name's Casey.
And I'm Vincent. We've been asked here today to talk about our intellectual journey. Ours is a little different than the average student, so we're fortunate enough to be talking about it and maybe share that with the viewers. We're students here at Plymouth State University. However, we've had the opportunity to study abroad as well as do what's called NOLS, National Outdoor Leadership School. Yeah, so let's talk about it.
National Outdoor Leadership School taught me a lot. It taught me better communication skills, and it really brought me closer to the people that I was with. And starting with 10 people, dropping to 6 at the end, it was a pretty crazy ride, to say the least.
I kind of see it as like it's the civilian version of boot camp, as in you're going to be put in a very challenging environment because you're going to be out in the outdoors. You're going to be with the same group of people 24/7 for the entirety of your expedition, which yours was 89 days, mine was I think in the 90s. And there's no other time in your life where you're going to be with that same group of people. You're going to have to communicate, you're going to have to change your behaviors a little bit, you're going to learn about yourself. And you're going to get the best feedback you've ever had in your life because you've never spent that much time with the same people.
Exactly. I feel like I know those 6 people so well.
Yeah. What did you learn about yourself within NOLS? What kind of feedback did you get?
I took an approach that made me a little quieter than the rest of the people. They wanted me to put a lot more input in the next sections. I sometimes can just not say anything until I feel like it's absolutely essential. What about you?
My feedback was being basically overbearing in decision-making situations. So at one point we were in the Wind River Range on top of these mountains, and we were basically confused as to our current location. And what's cool about the instructors, it's experiential education, so they stay out of it. They let the students kind of run the show, right?
Yeah.
I guess at the point I was too loud as far as stating my opinion and saying I'm fairly certain that we're here. And one of the girls in our group, she said, I think we may be here. I eventually ended up going scouting, and I think I recall coming back and I said, trust me, we're here. Which is just not a good leadership thing to say, like just trust me blindly, you know? So that's the feedback I got, was that I was a little overbearing. What ended up happening in that situation is that the group did end up going in the direction I thought we should go. And it turns out I was wrong. We were not in that location. That girl was right as far as where we were. And from that, I learned that if you put more trust in your group and let go, that's a phenomenal leadership technique, is to just put trust in that team. Yeah. And some of the best leaders I value do that. What kind of leadership did you have in the course that you really grew from?
Yeah.
Respected?
Ben Reeder, instructor, climbing instructor. I think people really value transparency, and as a superior and instructor that's way more knowledgeable in climbing for that section, he made himself approachable as in like just one of the students, like somebody that you could just talk to as like a friend. And so I enjoy like getting to know the instructor and like learning from the instructor, because they're like extremely brilliant in that field, but just being on like the same level as them, I feel like I can learn a lot more.
One of the best leaders I've experienced was Jake, and he was in my Utah section, so the canyoneering section, my rock climbing section, and my like winter surviving section. And his leadership style was sitting back and putting trust in the team. He would basically ask you a question like, before getting into any kind of risk management situation, he would go, what do you think? Do you think you can handle this? Can you perform what you think you just recommend that we do? And if your answer was yes, then you go, okay, and he would let you do it. And sometimes the things to a bystander it might seem like it was a risky decision, but if you trust in your own capabilities, then your team, your leader has to trust in your decision as well. We're in Costa Rica, where you studied abroad.
Yeah.
Tell me what you learned while you were here.
In Costa Rica.
Yeah, dude, we're in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So what did you learn?
Yeah. So in Costa Rica, my gosh, I lived with a Spanish-speaking family for 4 months, and me not being very great with language, was something I had to adapt to every single day. I remember getting in there that first night, just being super jet lagged and just like, it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I have this Spanish speaking family just super excited to welcome me into their home, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish, and it's like, El español muy mal, and then they're like, okay. They bring me in and they give me some food, and our conversation is extremely limited, but I could just tell how loving they were going to be and just how like nice. So that's all that mattered. And then Costa Rica as a whole for study abroad was pretty incredible experience. I took some crazy classes like marine bio, holistic health, tropical medicine, and botany. Some classes I just wouldn't be able to take here in New Hampshire. What about you? You went to New Zealand?
We're in New Zealand, and that's a lot different than Costa Rica in the sense that, you know, it's more first world country. Yeah, tremendous opportunity to study their business. So, you know, the business world, I mean, it's very similar to what we have here. Those are mostly the courses I got there. What I cherish about being able to study in different location or just travel, which I've had the opportunity to do, is that you kind of get to understand that we're all part of the same team. And when you look at the disputes that we have in our own countries or our own cultures, you can look at it with a grain of salt and a little disappointment that we're not able to collaborate a little more efficiently because we're all part of the same group.
Break it down a little bit.
All right, here we go. All right, you turn this time.
Where are we? Thailand?
Yeah, Rayleigh, Thailand.
And we're back in Rayleigh, Thailand. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell us what you're going to be taking away from the IDS major and what you're going to use from it to benefit the world?
Yeah. My goal is to open up a film production company. What I've learned in IDS is I've learned the leadership skills to build a team, so the social skills to do that, to collaborate efficiently. The business courses I've taken have taught me how to financially handle a business, so the accounting courses were tremendous for that. Marketing is going to be crucial in my sales class as well, as far as getting our product out there and, you know, bringing in some funds from our projects. My ultimate goal is to bring humor into the outdoor industry, but I failed at that in this interview. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that we did not put more humor into this interview. Background check, Antarctica. That's where we are now. Okay, people. Yeah, that's my goal. In the modern day, a lot of these outdoor adventure films, it's all based around inspirational, like an inspirational setting. It's great. I mean, people love to be inspired, and I think they can be inspired though in a different way and through humor. I think we're always taking it a little too seriously. The humans always evolving in these adventure sports. You know, these different tricks in, say, mountain biking, rock climbing.
Yeah.
It's great, but why don't we put a little humor into it?
Yeah.
And that's what I would hope to bring to the viewers.
You got any ideas?
I want to film in Canyonlands, Utah. I'm starting to build a team for that. I want to go just attempting to put up these routes, these climbing routes, up these cracks, and we would access these rock climbing cracks that have never been explored before through a river and on canoe. So I think that can make for fun filmed expedition.
Yeah.
But you know, that's going to take a lot of organization,
Yeah.
which hopefully I've learned with Knowles, and business-wise, as far as making those deals and getting the funding, hopefully I've learned.
Do you want your videos to be based on like reality, or do you also want it, or are you looking more into the acting?
I would like to start with partial scripted. So is it real? Is it not? Who knows?
I think it has a lot to do with your width and the crew you have, because if you just get a little insight of what you guys are all about, you're bound for some funny content.
That's true. The other thing is you gotta start you gotta film so much that the person doesn't even know that the camera's there and they're just acting natural like we are right now.
It was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah.
You watched through this whole interview, and you guys just rock.
Yeah.
If you watched it this whole time.
Tune in next time when we feed a squirrel to a chipmunk. So we do want to thank all our staff at an interdisciplinary for allowing us to travel the world while getting an education.
I'll go out with saying, stay alive.
And meanwhile, we're out at sea, so we got to get back to the mainsail and
There you go.
yeah, crank the boom. I don't know. I think that's a rogue wave over there, so we gotta go.
Ah.
Deal with that. So see you later.
Until next time.
Yeah.